Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Samir Bellik and today we'll make something a little different. We'll make a tech review. I will compare Android to iOS with the two phones that I have, which are the iPhone 13 and the Google Pixel 6. It's a review after 6 months of use, more or less. My first phone was an iPhone 4 and just after that I took a Sony Ericsson Xperia X10. It was a small Android phone with Android 4, if I remember correctly, and I used it until I started working at Samsung when I had both the iPhone 5 and the Galaxy S3, and since then I always had both phones. And I always used both of them in order to understand the ecosystems and the features that I'm bringing and the new options they provide with each iteration. Until today, when I use the iPhone 13 and the Google Pixel 6. After I used a lot of brands. I used Sony phones, Samsung phones, LG phones, not LG phones, one LG phone which was the Nexus 5, a Google phone. I used OnePlus, Xiaomi, and right now a Google phone. And I have mixed feelings. The iPhone is great. It's an iPhone. It's reliable, it's not exceptional, it doesn't have outstanding features, but it works as it was intended to work. But I had really big expectations for the Pixel 6 because it's a Google phone and it's the first Google phone with an SoC from Google. They made their own chip inside it. So I had the same expectations as for the M1 processor inside the new Apple devices. Since they make the software and the SoC, I thought it would be working better or faster or having better battery life or something. It doesn't have anything of that. And I will tell you exactly how I found out this. Usually I use my iPhone as my main phone, like for phone calls and messages and work-related stuff, and I use the Android phone mainly to complement or having a secondary phone to do stuff when my main phone is busy or to game on them. Mainly because the screens are usually bigger and brighter and I don't like to have my connection interrupted by phone calls when I'm doing stuff online. This is why I use the second phone mainly on a day-to-day basis. But the Pixel phone has many issues that other Android phones didn't have. The first one is that every Android phone I used for the last several years had both a face unlock and a fingerprint scanner. This one has only the fingerprint scanner, which is annoying since I like to unlock my phone quicker. But the fingerprint scanner on this one is slow. Like, it's slower than the OnePlus 6T that is from 2018. And even slower than the Galaxy S10 that I had before, which was from 2020, 2 years ago. So, why is it so slow? It's annoying. I can't unlock my phone as fast as I want or as I need. Also, it doesn't work all the time and it resets regularly and I have to enter the digits or the code that I have instead of using my fingerprint scanner. Like at least 2 times a day, which is frustrating. Like, no other phone has ever did this to me. The battery isn't that great either, so I never use it more than 2 hours a day. Like, screen on time from the device tells me that I use it between 30 minutes and 2 hours every day, since I use mostly my iPhone. My battery is at less than 20% after only 2 hours of use during the day, which is not good. And I don't use exceptionally draining applications on it. It's like just some games that I play sometimes, some YouTube or some email checking on it, maximum. And then there is the problem of editing. Like, I edit my videos, not these for YouTube, for these I use my computer, but for social media, when I make some reels or some shorts or some TikToks, I use Canva to make visuals and I use CapCut and InShot in order to edit the videos, make some effects, apply some filters and export them and then upload them. I use the same apps on both CapCut and InShot. And for both apps, I have the same problem. On the iPhone, when I export a 1-minute video, it takes like 10 seconds. If I do it on the Pixel, it takes between 20 seconds to 30 seconds to export. And when I apply some filters, it takes also twice the time that it takes on the iPhone for the exact same footage. I did the test several days in a row and I had the same results each time. Also, if you are like me editing videos on your phone, I highly suggest that you use an iPhone, because if you have an iPhone and you want to transfer your files to your computer, even if it's a PC and not a Mac, if it's a Mac, it's like a breeze, it's just AirDrop and it works. If you have a PC, you just have to plug it and it's recognized as a digital camera like this one, and you can transfer any photo or video from it directly, and it's easy. If you have an Android phone, you will have a big problem if you are making content that is bigger than 4 gigs per file, because the default file system on the Android phone is exFAT, and exFAT doesn't understand files that are bigger than 4 gigs. It can read them, it cannot move them. The one time and last time I did it was when I shot in 4K for more than an hour and I had an 80 gig file to transfer, and it was a nightmare. It took me like 1 week to transfer everything. And how did I do it? I just cut the file into multiple smaller files of 2 gigs. I used a zip application that will compress, not really compress, that will divide the file into multiple zips of 2 gigs and then transfer them one after the other, and the transfer speed is slow. So it took 1 week to transfer everything. The other choice would be to upload everything to the cloud, like on Google Drive or any other cloud storage, but with the high-speed connection we have in Algeria, it's not very practical. It would have taken even more time to do it. So if you have any recommendations for other apps that perhaps work better on Android for editing files, please leave them in the comments. I really want to give it a fair try and try editing videos on Android. Thank you. The camera on the iPhone is great. It takes very good pictures for a phone, and it takes exceptionally good videos, even if it's not as good as these cameras I'm using right now. But it's very versatile and I can use it all the time in any kind of condition, except if it's not that bright, like it needs a minimum of light to give good results. The Android one is also good. For video, not as good. There is some stutter when you move the camera, which is something that doesn't exist on iPhone. It hasn't as good a dynamic range, so when you go from very bright to very dark environment, the transition is not smooth, but it does the job for still videos or photography is epic. Even if in low light, the Pixel 6 strangely is not as good as the old Pixels in low light, like for night mode or something like that. So I'm not giving up on Android for either of these reasons. Each time I have a new phone, there are always some advantages and disadvantages for these phones, be it the iPhone or the Android phones. Some years ago, like I had before this one I had the iPhone X, iPhone 10, and it was very good compared to the other iPhones, but the battery was so-so. It didn't age very well, and it was very brittle. I had cracks on the screen and on the back, even if I had protection, which is, for this one, it fell a lot of times. I have protection and it doesn't have any dent. The next Android phone I want to get would be, if I had to change right now, it would be the Samsung Galaxy S22. The competition is not that great these days compared to some years ago when we have, like, OnePlus was very good, LG has some nice phones, Sony also had some nice features. But right now, if you are in the mid-range, there are a lot of choice, like with Oppo, Xiaomi, and all the brands that exist. You have great choice and great features. But in the top end, there is almost only a Samsung. The other ones are not making that good of a competition, except if you go to some brands that are not available in Algeria, like Asus is making very good phones, like the gaming phones. The ROG phone is excellent. You have some niche products from Oppo and from Xiaomi for gaming also that are pretty good, like very good battery life, not very good camera since it's not really the focus, and very good screens and very good refresh rate. They are excellent, and I really want to test one of these, but if I had to choose, the Galaxy S22 would be my choice right now. I don't really want to test the folding phones right now. I'm really afraid of scratching the screens or breaking them because I don't really take that much care of my phones. But yeah, a Samsung would be nice. But since I'm planning on keeping these phones for at least 3 years, in 3 years what the choice would be at that time and what would be the best Android phone or iPhone at that time, or perhaps another brand. Very doubtful that will actually be the case, but who knows? Last recommendation, if you want to get an iPhone, don't get the Pro Max version because it's the same SoC as the regular iPhone. It just has one lens, additional lens that it's an extra wide, which is not that useful, and also it will be heavier. The only advantage is the bigger battery, so yeah, it's good. And you get one more feature, which is filming in ProRes, which don't see the point of it. If you are seeking this kind of feature, you should go to a camera which is cheaper and has a better lens and better sensor. So that's for you. If money is not an issue, so go buy. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe and tell me in the comments that you want to see me talk about tech in more details or in more videos. And what subject should I tackle in these videos? Thank you and see you soon. Bye!